At the T-minus 3-minute mark, tape recorders on board the spacecraft were turned on. These recorders record both voice and data. We have ignition sequence start. The engine's now building up to 7.7 million pounds of thrust. We have a launch commit and we have a liftoff. Moving back. The Saturn V lifting off with power. Alpha pad building up.
Good evening, this is Rocket Shop, Big Heavy World's local Vermont music radio hour, every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m. on 105.9 The Radiator, WOMMLP Burlington. Local musicians come on and chat with us and share their music on the radio. I'm your guest host tonight, Genevieve Rossi, filling in for Tom Proctor. Tonight we have the pleasure of welcoming the band Marxist Jargon. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you start by introducing yourselves and your music a little bit?
Yeah, we're Marxist Jargon. We are acoustic folk punk band from Burlington. We like to sing songs about the world and mostly what the aspects of the world that we're unhappy with, and then also the sort of seeds of a more desirable world that already exist.
Beautiful. Could you start me off with a song?
Ironic Nazi. Ironic Nazi. Got sucker punched by some ironic hipster commie. Broke his frickin' nose and got blood all over his clothes, but it couldn't really hurt him, cause it was just for irony. You've said the things you've said, and you've done the things you've done. When you think that something's funny, it's genuinely fun. If it quacks like a quack and it steps like a goose, we're gonna treat it that way. You ain't got no excuse. Ironic Nazi. Ironic Nazi. He got sucker punched by some ironic hipster commie. Broke his frickin' nose and got blood all over his clothes, but it couldn't really hurt him, cause it was just for irony. 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 Irony.
What was the title of that song?
So that song was called Ironic Nazi.
Ironic Nazi. Okay, so that was Ironic Nazi by Marxist Jargon. So there are 6 of you up here right now. Could you all just introduce yourselves and kind of tell me what instruments you're playing? I know you switch around your instruments a bit, so just kind of give us a little background on y'all. Yeah.
Okay, I can start. We could semicircle. I'm Meg. I have a guitar and a ding ding and a tambourine. Austin?
I'm Austin. I play the cajon sometimes.
I'm Dre. I also play the cajon and I do vocals. I'm Bar, and I have an egg shaker and a fiddle.
I'm Lauren, and I also have a fiddle.
I'm Ben. I play the mandolin and I sometimes sing.
I'm Sam, and I play the guitar and I sing.
Awesome. So what kind of brought all of you to music, specifically this kind of music, I guess the folk punk kind of scene? But what brought you to music? Have you all been playing music your whole lives, or is it something you just kind of started to pursue And how'd you kind of come together as a band?
The second question's easier.
Start with the second, yeah.
Because people are listening, we should call ourselves folk pop.
I coined the term un-Americana
I like
because it's classically, in the 1950s anti-communist sense, un-American messages, like social justice messages in an Americana form. That's the term I use, but
Yeah. And I think we all came together because we're all buddies with similar sentiments. I don't know. Does anyone want to add to that? Sammy? Sammy Chick?
Yeah, so you know that game that you sometimes play where somebody says something and someone else is like, that's a band name, and then for like the next 10 minutes, everything you say could be a band name? One time I said Marxist Jargon, and Ben was like, that's a band name. And then later I said something about fully automated luxury communism, and Ben was like, oh, that's the first album. And then later that night, we played the song for the first time. That we're not actually going to play today, so don't get your hopes up. Our hit single, Fully Automated Luxury Communism.
which Sam just wrote like drunkenly on an out-of-tune piano in like 10 minutes.
Awesome. So how long have you been a band, like an established band? I know you've been on Rocket Shop before, so a little while.
We were on Rocket Shop 1 year and 4 or 5 months ago. And at that point, we had been a band for 4 weeks. So, yeah.
I think we were misleading, actually, when we came on Rocket Shop, because they seemed really shocked when they're like, how long have you been together? And we're like, oh, like no time. We did one show.
Awesome. And what is kind of like your main places to play? Like, do you play mainly like house shows in Burlington? Do you guys tour? What do you guys like to do?
We don't tour
No
unless
touring.
we're talking around the block. We like to play like activist events. We play a lot of basement shows. We've played like the Lamp Shop, the regular Burlington places.
Yeah, we really like smaller rooms, so that we don't have to mess around with miking all of our myriad instruments, and we can just play acoustically.
Yeah. Our dream though is to go on a bicycle-powered library tour around Vermont. So libraries out there.
Amazing.
Book
Yeah.
us.
We're taking donations.
Yeah, anyone wants to fund that, we do know how to bicycle travel pretty cheap.
Also, we do like
Amazing.
playing protests as well.
Awesome. Can you guys play me another song?
Yeah, and speaking of protest, this one goes out to all the landlords, and we want to give a shout out to the Burlington Tenants Union, who Austin does some good work with, and yeah, it's self-explanatory, I guess. It's kind of like a call for action.
Awesome.
I'm gonna try not to screw it up. Your landlord and my landlord made a deal with the devil and always want more. Your landlord and my landlord, no moral issue with eating the poor. Your landlord and my landlord wouldn't bat an eye to put you in the cold. Your landlord and my landlord reason the demons of that I'm sure.
Landlords.
Landlords, perfect. So, so I think I'm not trying to get too political, but you're definitely a politically based group. Can you kind of explain that kind of deal with the music? Because it definitely has a message behind a lot of your work, and just kind of explain to the listeners what you're all about here.
Yeah, one of our main reasons for being is to be a political education initiative. And we don't want to take it too seriously. We want it to be fun.
Yeah, it's kind of also, like for me personally, writing songs, like I kind of have to do it because I'm Canadian and I can't break the law here. So that's like one way to get it out. But I think that, I don't know, making music is a good way to get some of that inner angst out. But also sharing it is really beautiful.
Yeah. And what does kind of the songwriting process look like? There's a lot of you. Do you have one main songwriter? You guys all come together and write things? Or is it kind of like one person wrote this one person wrote this one? Or what's it look like for you guys?
Whoever's singing lead vocals is typically the person who wrote the song. I think for every song of ours, yeah. Is there an
Except
exception?
for Capitalist Feather Pluckers.
Yeah, no, we actually do have one song that we wrote as a jam all together during band practice, which is called Capitalist Feather Pluckers.
But it's not called that.
Oh yeah, that's the edited, that's a radio version. Radio
That's the
cut.
radio version. Awesome. And I know you guys have at least one kind of LP album-like thing. Do you often record, or is it all kind of live stuff?
We've not recorded a bunch intentionally. Yeah, and the recordings, we have Bandcamp. Check us out on Bandcamp, Marxist Jargon. The recordings that we have up there are things that we did in 1 or 2 takes all together. Typically, we have not gone to the studio and recorded anything resembling an album. Maybe it's in our future. I don't know.
We have the Facebook.
Yeah, we have a video that we did last year for. I should be near the mic. We have a video that we did last year for the NPR Tiny Desk concert.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we actually have drone footage in that.
Whoa.
Though actually the way that it was just we had access to a drone. It has a really high quality camera, and so they were just holding a drone as a
By
camera.
day, it was bar.
It was bar.
I also played the drone.
You fly the drone.
And awesome. What do you guys think your response from the Burlington community is like? Because I know like Burlington that I know of doesn't really have that many like anarchist bookstores and like big social movements like this, but like definitely would be accepting of this. So what do you guys feel from the Burlington community?
I feel like most of our shows are our buddies coming out to support us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Sam?
Burlington's got some of those undercurrents. You know, there was a like info point that was sort of like an anarchist bookstore in Burlington not that many years ago. Some of the folks in the band are involved in Food Not Bombs Burlington now. And so, yeah.
Want to quickly explain Food Not Bombs?
Yeah, Food Not Bombs. It's a movement of collectives in different cities around the world that share food with anyone who's hungry for free. And as that's a political message in response to the allocation of resources toward weapons of war instead of meeting people's basic needs.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sam, when can people come volunteer?
We serve food around noon on the bottom of Church Street right in front of City Hall every Sunday. And you can show up to 32 Hunger for Terrorists at 9 o'clock on Sunday if you want to help us cook.
Awesome. Can you guys play me another song?
It's anarchy in the USA. 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 Ferguson activist shot dead in the back of the head. Don't smell like a suicide, but that's what they said while he bled. The nation was distracted by a new Muslim ban. being enacted. Brown kids in concentration camps, just another sensation jammed down our throats, in our faces. Damn, it's racist, Dan. The movement's running out of patience, man. There was never any difference between the market and the state. Capitalists and governments collaborate. Make no mistake, need I elaborate more? There's a revolving door connecting industry and bureaucracy. What are we evolving toward? It's not democracy. Oligarchs building Noah's arks, ready to embark. When fossil fuel floods leave the rest of us in the dark, the utopia's stark if we don't get a spark. It's anarchy in the USA. It's anarchy. Climate changes, migrants in cages. The white man, he rages at the threat of rearranging ancient relations, a subjugation upon which he founded this mucking nation. It's nothing sacred, he asks that he accept or desegregation or eliminate discrimination, but people form associations voluntarily to fight the rights, abominations, and precarity. Protest, solidarity, feeding strangers in the streets, black bloc, Antifa, don't seem dangerous to me.
We're all anarchists, but we act like equals.
Treat each other well, not as things, but as people. Refrain from dominating, come together and sing. Abolish rights, drop building with the source. It's anarchy in the USA. 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 Climate it changes, migrants in cages. 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 Climate it changes, migrants in cages.
Awesome. What was the title of that song?
The song's called Anarchy in the USA.
Anarchy in the USA. I love it. So can you guys tell me kind of some of your favorite memories as a band? You've been a band for like a year now. You're well established, more so than last time. Do you have any like great memories of like working together, like special gigs or something like that, and like just something that makes it special for you guys?
Yeah, so many. I think the most memorable one that comes to mind recently was, it was only a subset of us, but everyone was there in spirit. We went down in September. There was a big action against the last large coal-fired power plant in the northeastern United States.
In New England. But anyway, sorry.
The last big coal-fired power plant in New England. It's a colonial term. Yeah, in Bow, New Hampshire, and there was a bunch of our buddies who put on white jumpsuits and got buckets to try to remove coal from the big pile that was going into the plant. And they asked us to come play music, and we played sloppy, and we played loud, and everybody loved it, and it was a really powerful experience.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Anybody else do any other special memories? No?
That's what I was gonna say too. I don't know.
I didn't get to go to that one, which was a bummer. But I think, what was the name of that festival that was on Decatur?
Decatur Fest?
Oh, yeah. So
Or was it
mostly because Meg made us all outfits and we got to dress like space robots, and it was really, really fun. And I got to dance with Meg, so I was like really happy. So yeah.
Awesome. And as like a band, where do you kind of draw inspiration from? Are there any like particular artists that really inspire you, or like any movements that really draw you in, or is it just kind of like this all comes from you guys and whatever? Yeah.
I think Sam's inspiration is Blink 182. No, I'm just kidding.
Pearl Jam.
I don't know. I love Patti Smith, but I can't claim at all to sound anything like that.
None of us started listening to any folk punk until we decided to call ourselves
Or
that, and
folk
then we.
pop. Not true. Folk pop.
At all. I was punk at 16. My mom was punk, okay? But 80s punk, it doesn't really
Trey
count.
is punk as dump truck.
Yeah, y'all heard us kind of fall apart at the end of the second verse on that last song because we were trying to do a
Radio edit.
Yeah, radio edit that we successfully did once at home a few hours ago, but none of us could remember. We meant to say fudge Trump.
Okay. Fudge. Oh, there, yeah. Special appearance.
Our picture from when we were here a year and a half ago just came up.
Yeah. So guys, what is kind of like for all of you, is music any of your like full-time jobs here, or is it all a hobby for everybody?
So flattered you could even think that.
You never know.
None of us have jobs. We all make our living through Marxist jargon.
But like
just don't use
for you
money.
guys, like if it's not your full-time job, what kind of draws you to keep doing it? Because it is a lot of practice to have a band, especially with this many people. Like you've got to have practices. Like what really draws all of you towards this? Because it's definitely a social movement, but like individually, what's keeping you guys going?
It's fun.
Sam makes
Primarily.
dinner every Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We all hang out all the time anyways. We might as well be doing something.
Constructive. And is it typically 7 of you, or do you have more or less people usually? It's different.
It
groups?
fluctuates plenty. Well, you here in
Yes.
the studio with us saw our picture from when we were here last come up on the screen, and then we were 6, and there's only 3 of the same people from then. So
I think you could call it more of a collective, a revolving collective. We also have like someone coming in to play horns soon, right? So next time we come on Rocket Shop, there might be horns.
Ooh.
Walter, you don't know this yet, but you're playing trumpet with us.
saxophone.
Saxophone.
I don't even know. Why am I on this mic at all?
So what 3 of you have been here since last time you played on Rocket Shop? 1, 2, 3.
Drea, Meg, and
then-
Sam.
And I joined the band like literally the next day or something. It was I
Just missed it.
I would have been here, but I was
You were so
traveling.
impressed with our Rocket Shop performance.
So for the 3 of you, 4-ish, who have been here since last year, what have you kind of seen change in your band and like kind of how you're going about this? You've added more people, you've changed out a little thing. Like have you seen like a big difference in the sound, or is it more just like grabbing some more friends and making some more music?
I can tell by Sam's face he's gonna say that maybe we're more together. No? Okay, I think that we're almost exactly the same.
Yeah, we don't have a bass anymore.
Oh yeah, we need a bass player.
We're open to bass players.
Seeking
though.
bass players.
Like
Jamie.
one of those washed up basses would be ideal.
I would say that we put a lot more thought. I think we put a lot more thought into our arrangements recently, and that's been a really fun thing to do. To just like take a song and like maybe even one that we already play and just kind of play with it a lot and try to dial in the exact way that it sounds and add more voices and add little pieces here and there. I know I have a really fun time sort of being a real like diva about my songs and that.
Yes.
About like, oh, this needs this here and this, and then I like to do that on other people's songs too, and just be like, oh, can we try this one thing? Can we try this thing? And I think other people are really enjoying that too. Of just
Love it.
Our
A bit of
lovely
a
ex-bass
perfectionist.
player Dan used to do that role too. Like always, just like it's nice. Can be nice to have someone with an opinion about how things are. Otherwise, everyone's just kind of. But it's been fun through different iterations of like instrumentation to hear how our songs evolve, both intentionally and sort of organically.
Yeah, and you guys play live a lot, so you probably are never really playing everything the same way every time, which is really awesome. And kind of on that note, do you have any upcoming shows or anything you'd like to plug? Anything coming soon?
Yeah, this Saturday at 32 Hungerford Terrace, there's a little get-together for meeting a Ward 8 City Council candidate, Jane Stromberg. And we're going to play that, and Eric George real professional musician, is also going to play that with us.
Real one.
I don't know. We're each going to do a few songs, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to get to know our neighbors and also somebody who we might vote for city council, who's, you know, out there fighting for vulnerable people in the climate rather than landlords and developers and businesses in the University of Vermont.
Absolutely. And do you guys want to plug your social medias or like Bandcamp again? Just give us the names. What
Yeah,
is
we're
it?
Marxist Jargon.
Yeah.
We're on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
We used to have a
We
MySpace.
still have a MySpace.
Still have a MySpace. Anything else? Do you have a Facebook?
Instagram.
Instagram.
We don't
Instagram.
work for Facebook,
Good.
except through Instagram.
Yeah. The other iteration of Facebook. Well, awesome. Can
Yeah,
you
we
guys?
like the print media too, not just social media.
Ooh.
We can
Oh, yeah,
make
watch
little
for our
lyric zines.
around town.
Zines. That's awesome. So can you play me out with a song?
Yeah.
This one we would normally play in our space robot costumes.
It's they're part of the Space Odyssey.
It's part of the Space Odyssey. It's also in direct opposition to the narrative of space travel as a way to kind of escape the climate crisis and what we're doing to the planet. So the general message is say no to space and
Kids.
take care of the home that we co-evolved with.
Comrades, don't let comrades space mine.
Baby, don't worry. Baby, don't cry. I know it's dark outside and you don't really know why. You hear the screaming and it just feels like you're standing by. If I gave you a match, would you light it? Would you even try? And they still love you. And they still love you. Baby, don't worry. Baby, don't cry. We might destroy ourselves. Baby, don't worry, baby, don't cry. You're up there floating around, looking down at your old life. You've got the stars now instead of the city lights. You can feel the sun and you miss those prairie nights, and they still love you. And they still love you. I don't wanna live inside a spaceship. We don't wanna live inside a spaceship. I don't wanna live inside a spaceship. We don't wanna live inside a spaceship. Why would we leave the home that we evolved with? Why would we leave the home that we evolved with? Why would we leave the home that we evolved with?
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming on today. That was Marxist Jargon, everybody. And when we get back, we'll have Sarah King. This is Rocket Shop on 105.9 FM, The Radiator, WOMMLP, Burlington. Stay tuned.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.